At 25 years old, I was crushing it. I was crushing it. I was so hot. I was so hot. If we could have props, that would be my prop, was just my extreme hotness at 25. I had a great boyfriend, and I was making tons of money as a manager at a really swanky restaurant in Center City. This place was incredible. I mean, you have to get reservations months in advance. There are 3-hour waits on the weekend. It's a sort of restaurant where, as the manager, you're pretty much guaranteed to get yelled at by a celebrity. Mine was John Barrowman, in case you were wondering. Most importantly, this job had introduced me to my boyfriend that year. And it was great because he was just one of those guys who was like absolutely perfect on paper. I'd never been set up before, but his sister was a bartender at the restaurant, Sarah, and she set me and this guy up. I'm going to have to call him Ken for the rest of the story. So she set up me and Ken. I didn't have a choice. And Ken was great on paper. I mean, also super hot. I was pulling, okay? This is part of the success, is I was pulling. Ken was like big, thick arm muscles. This guy was literally an underwear model. Like the soft, silky beard, thick, dark hair. And we were good together. We worked for the same company. He made a lot of money. He liked to work out, and we were kind of from the same cultural background. So it just seemed to make sense. At least it did for a little bit. One night, it's a crazy Saturday night at this restaurant. Like I said, everything happens all at once at this place. We have hundreds of thousands of people every year crowding around our circle shaped bar with a golden bike spinning at the top. And I got to see lots and lots of bad dates myself. But that night, one of our busiest nights, I knew that one of my boyfriend's coworkers had made a reservation. I was in charge of the reservations list, and I saw her name popped up. So, being the great restaurant manager that I was, I laid out the red carpet. He talked about Alicia before, and I knew that they spent their lunches together and that she would text him often. So I knew that she was important to him. And I figured that this would be my opportunity to show him how much I cared, because to be honest, things had been a little rocky. At least I thought they were. I wasn't really getting much of a reaction out of this guy. He was stoic and cold and frankly a little boring. Okay. Just an example, we went out to dinner at a steakhouse and the man ordered chicken. What a waste of your time at a steakhouse. I made fun of him and it didn't faze him, which is how I knew things were going awry. Everything in his house was white and gray, all hard angles. I mean, this guy was like Christian beige. You know what I'm saying? It was like the boring version of 50 Shades, you know? I just didn't fit in with his life, it seemed. And I was just like, maybe I can make a connection with Alicia and get a little in onto Ken's heart. So I did everything I could. I put her in one of the big golden plush velvet booths in the corner so that everyone would see her when she walked in and everyone would be able to go over to the table and treat her like royalty. I picked out exactly what food I wanted her to have, but I wanted to customize it. So I texted Ken. I said, "Hey Ken, your girl Alicia's coming in tonight. What's her favorite food?" He texts back immediately. He said, "Don't send anything. Don't send anything. She's had a death in the family. She does not want to be approached by managers. She just wants to be left alone and have a quiet dinner with her sister." And I was like, that's ridiculous. Who wants to be left alone when you're having a hard day, especially at this big, shiny, gaudy restaurant that people go to be seen at? I was like, plus, when you're having a hard day, who doesn't want a free guacamole? You know what I'm saying? So I went along with my plan. I was not listening to him at all. And he begged and begged and begged, but I'd made up my mind. I was going to make her feel welcome and cared for. And right then, I put in the guacamole. I'm walking it over to the table with a big smile on my face. I drop it down, and as I announce the dish, I see the faces of these girls drop into the most incredible looks of abject loathing that have ever been directed at me. Have you ever had 3 beautiful women glare at you? It is my top 3 worst feelings in the entire world. Would not recommend it to anyone. So, obviously, I knew something was wrong, but I powered through it with a "Hi, it's so nice to meet you. I'm Ken's girlfriend, Alyssa. Joey has told me so much, or sorry, Ken has told me so much about you." That was the last fake name I made up for him before I changed it again. "Ken has told me so much about you. I brought you some guacamole. I hope you like it." Silence. More gorgeous glares came across from the golden table. "Well, enjoy," I said, and I walked out because they clearly didn't want me there, and I was just thinking, "What just happened?" I wasn't feeling good about it, so I stepped aside to breathe in our utility closet that had become the upstairs manager's office. And as I take my moment, I get a text from Ken, and he's furious, and he says, "I told you not to go over there." And I'm like, "What is going on?" I mean, if she'd had a even if she'd had a death in the family, that was not the kind of reaction that you would give from that situation for me just bringing you a guacamole, and yet here we are. So, I get my act together. I'm taking too long in the office. I gotta get back on the floor. I get back on the floor, take one more steadying breath, and I step out, and there she was. And you guys, she was so pretty, and she was so angry. She was also about 5 inches taller than me and was in really expensive heels. So this glittering, gorgeous Amazon loomed over me in a way that I was sure was about to be like my last breath on this earth. "I don't know what you're doing," she said, "but I have been dating Ken for the last 3 years. I don't know what you think you 2 have together, but he never broke up with me. I came first, and you can back the fuck off because he's mine." The horizon tilted, and even now I can feel the weight drop from my heart into my gut as I process the information. He was cheating on her with me. I could see how badly I hurt her, and I just burst into tears right away, and I started apologizing. "I'm so sorry. I had no idea. He told me you were just friends. I'm so sorry. I am giving back his keys today." And all of a sudden, her whole demeanor changes, and she realizes that I had no idea what was happening. So all of a sudden, she turns around and she goes, "Yeah, that's right. That's what I came over here to tell you. Aren't I doing you a favor by letting you know that our man is cheating on us?" And if I had not been absolutely in the depths of heartbreak, I would have laughed at it. But now that I'm past it, everybody, please, if you could just laugh with me about it for a second. Okay, thank you. So I walked back into the fucking closet, texted Ken. I almost said all of the other names. I texted Ken and I said, "I'm giving your sister my keys. I never want to see you again. Alicia told me everything. This is over." We stayed together for another year. But luckily, that was the end of it. And I'm here to tell the story of my ex file. Thank you.